Just look at these beautiful birds. Y'all missed these beautiful big blue ones. Gorgeous. This is the African feed that I use. Can barely see it up in the corner, up on the right, but there's a timer on there that shows me that it is an actual feed and not a looped segment that I've seen in some other supposedly live videos. Gorgeous birds. Look at them. Wish I had gotten this up in time for you to see the big blues. They're huge, and they're just brilliantly blue. Absolutely gorgeous. So before we dig in today, we are going to be doing something a little different. Don't worry, we are going to get back to the hummingbird flower that we were doing earlier. I'm looking at doing kind of an alternate project now and then. At any rate, but before we dig into all of that, I wanted to show you a couple of new things I picked up. Recall I had some dual-ended markers that I wasn't particularly happy with, and I haven't been using them very much, so I gave them to my granddaughter for her birthday. She's overjoyed with her art bag, and I picked up these Ohuhu. I'm probably pronouncing that totally wrong, but a very good artist that I saw on Bluesky. Her work is so beautiful. I'll try to find her again and link her down below. But she says that she uses the Ohuhu. And this is an amazing box. These are all boxed in a beautiful, very sturdy box. They come with extra pin nibs, and the colors are really nice. The fine point is very fine. And then we've got another thick point as well, which feels much firmer than the other staplers I was using. So there's the fine point. So I'm looking forward to finding opportunity to play around with these. These are brand new. And then I also have been looking forward to trying a different kind of paper. The paper that I use here is got a bit of a rough texture to it. So I went and picked up a book with some smooth paper. I'm already starting to play with it a bit. My biggest complaint right now is that it is such a yellow paper, but as you can see, I'm testing the colors, the makeup on it. I will say the one thing that I do like about this paper versus this paper, other than the obvious color, is that the texture on here seems to grab the color a little bit more, but also, I know I have to keep layering and stuff to get the kind of depth I want for it, but, and I found that I didn't have to do that as much here, but I would say that that texture makes things feel more realistic to me, because fruits and things, most of them have some kind of dimpling to them. But anyway, so that's the second thing that I picked up that I'm excited about. Looking forward to playing with both of these products. Okay, so today we are going to start something new. And that doesn't mean I'm not finishing the previous project. I am going to finish the previous project. I want to do this project as my first original composition. I had originally drawn it in here, in this sketchbook. I've been doing a lot of playing around with things. It is called Icy. I as in I-C. I want to try to duplicate this somewhat. Going to try. Try being the operative word. And then go ahead and use the makeup to do the color in it. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. And I'm planning to do just a few things a little different than what you see in here. But I really like how this came out, and I would like to see if I can actually do a color version of it. And so this is going to be an alternate project. Um, I'm thinking that once a month, maybe, depending on how things go with the rest of my filming, but once a month we can do an alternative work on an alternative project like this, um, just to give us kind of a break from the ongoing monotony of the main project for that time period. And we still got a long ways to go on that bird, and I know we've just started it, and it took us uh, 2 months to get there because we were on session 8. And so far it's been 4 sessions a month. So we've been working on that other one for 2 months. A break now and then I think will be a good thing. Whether or not I can actually accomplish this is something else entirely. But we're going to start with the sketching today, at least for right now. And I'm hoping later that we can go ahead and get into some colors. I did actually download some images to give me some ideas on how I want to do my color. So we'll see when we get there for that. But for today, we are going to try to duplicate Icy. Now, one of the biggest things that I have a problem with is figuring out proportions and putting things centering in the page. I'm not sure that's quite as big a deal as I think it is, but you know, it's been a problem for me. But let's see how we can go through and we'll get this started. I'm a little nervous about it. It's going to be my first original. So, yeah, a little nervous about it. Although I'm still working off something that is an inspiration, but it's an inspiration I did, not anybody else. You'll have to let me know down below what you think about that. As I already get nervous about it. I can do this. I can do this. I did it on a little page. I can do it on a big page. I just have to think about proportions and everything like that. This is allowed to be bigger. This is allowed to be bigger, Tommy. You've got more space on this page. So why, yes, I have to keep talking to myself. Maybe I should have come to you guys with it already sketched. I don't know how much interested you guys are in the initial sketching. You will have to let me know. This brush is becoming my right-hand man for cleaning up. So let's what do you think? A double moon? This one doesn't have to be exactly the same, does it? The original sketch actually took me a couple of days too. The thing that I have to learn with pencil is how to adjust the heaviness of the pencil. we just had a small birthday celebration for my youngest grandchild, my granddaughter, who just turned 12. She also has an interest in art, and I am going to try, I decided to try to oh, that doesn't look even, but it is. All right, we're going to call the guest to make good. Anyway, I gotta do this inner moon too. I decided to encourage her. I'm real excited to share this particular interest with her, I guess, would be the way to put it. And I'm not usually capable of spoiling my kids or grandkids. I've wanted to, but financially, you know, single parents generally struggle with any of that stuff. And of course, and by the time I married my current husband, we were really starting to see the loss of value in jobs. We were really starting to feel the hit of not, well, that didn't go that far. That goes here. Of not getting paid our worth. And so we've always struggled financially. Hello. That was my computer, which is saving another video. So we've always struggled financially, and I haven't been able to spoil my kids or my grandkids. And this check was the first time I actually got to think about doing something special for one of the various children's in my life, adult and youngsters. And I was able to get her an art kit. And she seems to be very thrilled with said art kit. She opened that up tonight and she was very thrilled. And I'm looking forward to talking and working with her on art. And I say working with her because I've told her, you know, if you have questions, you need help with something, come to me and we will talk about it and figure out how to do what it is you're trying to do that you're struggling with a bit. I did tell her she's going to have more markers and stuff like that. So I did tell her that that's not something I know how to work very much, and that my current medium is even more off the beaten trail. I have done some pastel work and I think I occasionally did some paint work at some point. I can't remember. But all of that's a long time ago. Kind of a long time ago. So I told her that there was, you know, because it was a long time ago, I don't know how much I'll be able to help her with the specifics on the medium she's choosing to work with versus what I do. Okay. Yes, I'm struggling with my little silver moon here. My little slivered moon. That's pretty good. It's not as sharp and as well defined, I don't think. But then again, with the stuff that we're going to be working with, it won't be, will it? The real challenge will be the coloring. I'm going to have to think about how I want to do the colors. I've got a few different options. I was thinking of talking about baby girls. Baby girl, she's 12. Thinking about her, talking about her birthday. So we did the opening. She was really thrilled. She got some cake. My understanding is her mother's gifts for her will be arriving tomorrow, but she's already got her gifts from me and my son, and she seemed pretty excited about it. Okay, I am not mad at that. Debating, I'm finishing these stars up now or doing them in the next section. One of the blues is that they are blue all over with orange tips on their wings. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous birds. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this feed. In fact, I will list this down below for you guys too in case you're interested. All right, so I'm going to do some of these stars, star points. I am going to have to think about a lot. This is going to be a test of a lot of things, honestly. It's going to not only test what I do in terms of my actual art and stuff. I'm just going to erase all that for now. It's also going to be an interesting, well, let's not say test. Let's say loud. So it's not only going to be an let's not say test. Let's say experiment. It's going to be an interesting experiment in how to do some of the space components that I want to have in here. So I want to show you some of these space components. If you look, they got all these bright shimmery stars around it. Suns and globals. Got a lot of dots. Nebula kind of things. So those are my inspirations for coloring. And I'm going to have to figure out how I'm doing that. So that's the only thing I haven't really figured out yet is the color. I kind of got a color story, but not completely. And I like that one that had some others. I wonder if I should do a ringed planet somewhere. That might be kind of cool. Too many rings, maybe? Maybe we can do a small one over here. Big problem I could see was something like this. Well, other than the fact that I'm losing half my planet. It's because our stuff is not, because the, yeah, we're not going to be quite round. Because the makeup isn't quite precise. Some of this is going to be also would be harder to do that way too. Like these tiny little things are going to be harder to to color in, just because it is really hard to be small, precise with the makeup. It's gonna have to work with tiny tips. But we'll work on those when we get there, right? One of the other things we did this week is Kitty's got to go to the vet. They weren't happy with that situation. Psylocke was crying the whole time. Siren just hunkered down in the back of her crate and stared. Didn't say a word, but she made it quite plain she wasn't happy. Siren is about 8 pounds. Psylocke is about a little over 13.5, which was kind of a relief to see, because the last time she was at the vet, she's a big cat. Psylocke is a big cat. She's always been a big cat. She's always weighed between 12 and 15 somewhere on any, given time that we've attempted to weight with her. It's been between 12 to 15. But it tends to run more, closer to 13 or 14. So when she had dropped down to 12, we were a little concerned. The doctor said she was healthy at that time. This time she went in and it was over 13.5. I want it right here. I'm having trouble drawing it. But unfortunately, Psylocke has an infection in one ear. Turns out that somehow sometime between between her last visit and this visit, she got polyps in one of her ears, and apparently polyps can grow pretty damn fast. So she will be looking at surgery because her polyps currently almost completely enclose her ear at this point. And she will continue to be prone to infections if we don't do something about it. If we don't go ahead and do a surgery. Okay. No eyelashes, but thinking for a minute before I say it's done. You know what I could do is put some of these little rounds in here just to know where they go. Yeah? We are drawn, and now I have to decide finally on my colors. And we're gonna have to start over here and work our way over, and I don't know if some of it I'm still a little, we'll just see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes, right? Oh, you know what? We are doing kind of this eye in space thing, right? We can. That's kind of interesting. Let me know what y'all think. All right, so during the break, I made some decisions. I got rid of the planet. I didn't think I could do, I don't think I could do it justice with what I'm working with here. I also used my pencils to color code the stuff I have to give me an idea of what I'm doing where. And I added a few more things. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I'm really kind of nervous about it, but we're going to be fine, right? We're going to be fine. So one of the nice things about this is that it literally does not have to be, the lines don't necessarily have to be sharp. Nebulae are not sharp, with a few exceptions, like I'm probably going to want my stars sharp. The moons need to be sharp. So there are a few things that I'm going to want to have sharp. But in general, if I go outside the lines, that's fine. Yes, I am using my Melt Mariposa. I actually never pull this one out. I don't know why, but I don't. So we've been trying to use the talking like people have asked in the past. Oh, that ended up not being as different as I thought it was. I thought this one was more orangey and lighter, but it's going on pretty close to the same. It didn't go on my skin the same. That's for sure. Okay. I haven't decided. A lot of these things that I use for the inspiration for the color have the pupil, not the pupil, the whites of the eyes, like a blue. And I haven't decided if I want to do that yet. Anyway, as I was trying to say, I've been talking during these things, and honestly, I mean, I don't mind talking a little bit, but personally, I find it a little bit forced because I really just want to focus on the work. So, I may go back to zero talking again soon. So I was saying as I had to find another color. I may just go back to not talking as much because I just really prefer focusing on the work. Okay, I'm already a little worried about this. Okay, keep going, Tommy. Keep going. This just may have been better left as just pencil, huh? I don't know. We all may end up hating it. Actually, I could almost guarantee you that I will end up hating it. That's just how I am. It doesn't matter what the work is. I always end up hating it for at least a while. That is just, I don't know, folks. It's just the way my brain works. Honestly, I think that's the way most of our brains work. We don't give ourselves grace because others don't give us grace as we're growing up. What do you think? Does that make sense? Oh, those colors are too similar. I thought that one was going to be lighter. It's not. I am also intending to glitter this up a bit more than some of my previous work. I think this is a piece where if not used like in too heavy-handed, it's more like using them more like a glaze, I guess, will fit better, if that makes sense. Let's try this up along this edge. Right now I'm just playing around. Without any glue to adhere it to everything, it'll be easy to go over and remove to some degree. To some, ooh. The problem with the Simply Posh is that they tend to, oh, I like that color. We're giving them a shim instead of the full shimmer. I just spent the last 15 minutes trying to figure out where I put this in Smoke Show. Tell you guys, my brain needs help. Alright, so my little stars, little twinkles, are going to need glue to do what I want to do with them. Learning as we go, folks. And it's not just learning, it's remembering all the things I did before. So we just fussed around a bit, play around with a few things. So I'm going to start working in this corner again and do what I normally do and try to get things to where I want them before I move on to the next section. I don't know how well that's going to work because I'm not completely 100% sure where I want to go with this. I have some ideas about some of the things that I want to do. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not I can do them. See, like, I've got to be patient with myself because I have to remind myself that they do not need to be, the lines do not need to be perfect. It's allowed to be fuzzy. It is not something I'm used to. Precision is not going to be a big part of this particular picture, or at least it shouldn't be. But I'm also not very good at not having precision. So it is something I need to work on. Now I do want to do some things, have some spots with some precision. It's primarily going to be a matter of picking and choosing. But also letting some of it to go out of the lines a little bit. Reorienting my thinking a little bit, you know. I'm used to having these set lines, so now I have to work a little differently, which honestly I think is a good idea for me. It might help free me to not be so upset with myself when things don't go exactly the way they look And some of the inspo pictures I'm still working on. I'm still going to do other inspo pictures. For me, though, those pictures are part of the learning process, refining my art, so to speak. But I'm kind of hoping that by at least starting a piece that is my own, those dogs, they are just, they're annoying as fuck. Anyway, I'm just kind of hoping it'll help free me to not need to be, how to phrase it, free me to work within my own creativity and not feel like I have to, you know, color by number, if that makes sense. I don't know. I guess I was just really raised to like follow the rules. And it is a bit harder for me to choose not to follow the rules. At any rate, I think some of the thought processes are different for taking an inspiration piece and trying to mimic it exactly, and doing something completely your own. I think there's a slightly different thought process there. I am somewhat used to that, doing something on my own through my writing. I have done original pieces in my sketching in the past. Okay. Okay, so did some testing. We have started working on this part in earnest. We are trying very hard to not feel constrained too much by our lines. Maybe just a little bit by the lines. So I think we're going to be done. Hopefully this will also end up being a short one like some of the other ones I've done in the past. Generally speaking, we got started. We played around with a few things. We are now working part of it in earnest. You'll have to let me know what you think down below. I know. I just started. I'm feeling some kind of way about it, which is generally how I get about my work. Even writing. I will get somewhere in the middle of my writing and I will absolutely despise it. And I know I have to keep working on it until I get through the other side. So we're just going to have to see how this goes. And go from there. Anyway, you'll have to let me know, like I said, down below what you think. I hope that you will go ahead and like and share and subscribe. And we shall see you later. Bye.